Going for Two Live. It's your boy here, Dan at the B League Says, coming at you with a Thursday night pick and prop show on behalf of Going for Two Live, coming from Underdog Fantasy Sports. Promo code GF2 for $1,000, 100% matching deposit up to $1,000 on your initial outlay. It's a tongue twister, too many numbers, too many firsts. Doesn't really matter, but what does matter is tonight's Thursday night game. We have another division rivalry game. We have the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. It seems like this should be a one-way street. It is probably going to be a one-way street. And I'm going to break down a couple of quick props for you for this week's Thursday night short game slate. So nice, easy picks for you. We're going to go number one, De'Von Achane. We're going to have a look at De'Von Achane here at targets and receptions. Hey, Jamie, how you going, mate? We're going to have a look at him here now. It's come up to a 6.5 on the target line. So if you feel like going 5.5 on receptions instead, you can go either or, wherever you feel better at. Look, the Bills, to be fair, should run away with this week's game. And on the shirt, it's a short turnaround. This one shouldn't really be much of a brain buster. Look, the Bills are currently 12.5-point favorites at home, and a game hitting a line of 49.5. So we know this game can go up, and we know the Bills are 12.5 favorites, which means we're looking at the Dolphins chasing, which is great. The recent home form versus the Dolphins is exceptional. Their last two outings have ended 30-27 and 48-20. During that time, they've forced Miami to chase, as I just mentioned. And in doing so, look for cheap gains. And look, in the meantime, they've allowed 20 targets to Dolphins running backs. 65% of them have gone to Achane, and he's been the biggest beneficiary. We're talking 13 targets in 2 games versus the Bills, and that's huge in that regard. As it stands now, again, De'Von Achane, running back, is the target leader. 7 per game for the Dolphins. I mean, he's leading the Dolphins in targets. He's the running back. So not Tyreek Hill, not Jalen Waddle, not Darren Waller. 22% target share. That's a huge thing in that regard. So make what you want of this information, how bad Dolphins have been, and have multiplied with how much they lean on that third year back. Again, the easy line before, when I wrote this out yesterday, was 5.5, which is huge. So 5.5 targets for him, and now it's gone up a full point. So that's not great, but you can get more juice for him if you want. If you want to go receptions, if you feel like 5.5's there, which it should be, he's been leaning that way no matter what. So you can run that up to 5.5 receptions if you think that's going to be an easier get for you. But 6.5 targets, I still feel pretty confident about as well. No, Jamie, no soccer game in the background. I've learned my lesson. I think Tottenham's playing at the moment, or Newcastle's playing at the moment, and I feel like I should be putting that on. But no, the TV screen is off. We're taking a stand. Power. That's where we're at. We're going to have a look at pick number 2. And again, I like to throw in some IDP props in there because I just feel like you're playing an incomplete game if you're only looking at half of it. If you're only looking at offense, you're only watching an incomplete game. I don't feel like that's the way. And I feel like this one should be a given. And this is kind of indicting an indictment on Tua Tagovailoa. And we're looking at the Bills' pass rushes here. So I like Daquan Jones, and he's at 2.22x. For over half a sack, and Rousseau and Bosa, they're just tipping over at 1.05, give or take. It's not really much. You're not getting much bang for your buck from them, but Daquan Jones, you're getting 2.2x, and that's a decent kicker if you want to throw him in there. For sacks, look, I'm going to preface this, and we're going to throw our first swear in there, Jamie, so, hold on to your seatbelt there. Look, holy shit, Tua's getting hammered. God damn, this poor guy. You thought he had concussion issues before. He's getting smashed at this point. So, fucking smashed if you want. So, Tua's getting fucking smashed at the moment. It's hard to watch. That first game against the Colts, it was painful. And I wasn't even the one getting hit. But to be fair, I don't feel like he feels like he's getting hit anymore. He probably has no feeling in his limbs. So, whatever. Look, smashed. 8 sacks in 2 weeks. Smashed. Smashed so much that nearly half his sacks. He's almost at half his sacks for where he was last year. He had 21 sacks last year. He's already at 8 after 2 games. So you wonder why the guy can't finish a season. This is probably why. Look, and I know he hasn't played full seasons. He only had 1 full season, and that was out of 6 and 3 seasons with 12 or fewer games, which isn't great either. So when you're looking at it, I hate to say the injury, Doc would kill me for saying it, but he's kind of proving it, isn't he? At the same time, but he's only racked up between 20 to 29. So he doesn't actually get sacked a lot, which says something. He's only at 20 to 29 in his career per year. So he's not getting hammered as much as other people would think. But again, he's almost at 45% of the way of his career low. That's mad. So when you look at it like that, his average is 31 over a 17-game span. So you're looking at 2.5 at that point. So he's already at 8 for the year. He's currently on track for 68. We wanted the math early. We don't like to aggregate like that, but hey, here we are. And make what you want. Look, the Bills front, whoever, they are elite. Again, I don't know. I haven't checked. I feel like Ed Oliver is out again. Milano is out as two, I think. I believe that's the way to go. I think Dorian Williams is in there instead. But if Ed Oliver's out, you're looking at some more Daquan Jones, which is huge. And if you're getting 2.2x, that's a bigger pill to eat, really. That's a great thing for us. So, look, you're looking at Joey Bosa. He's come over from the Chargers. He hasn't skipped a beat. Greg Rousseau hasn't hit his stride yet, but last year he was one of their best on the edge there. And, if they can get around that wall of Dolphins O-line, they're all probably going to have a big day. So I can tell you, Bosa, Rousseau, Daquan get home, you can also take Tua at over 2.5 sacks. And I think that's a pretty good place to be at this point. Pick number 3, we are going to lean into Josh Allen. And I'm going to commit a cardinal sin here. And if you know me, and if you have watched any of my stuff or heard it, you know that I hate hitting the overs on everything. I hate going over because this game is so flawed and people suck and they hit unders all the time. So the fact that I'm going clean sweep, I've given you 3 plays for sacks, an over on 2 sacks, and an over on Devon Achane targets and or receptions. The fact that I'm going to go here with 6 for Josh Allen, I am not happy about. Believe me, I nearly cried when I put this together. However, here we are. I can't repeat that, Jamie, but yes. Yeah, no, fuck it. Tua will get nut sacks. Yes, he will. He probably is going to get sacked now. Yeah, he's probably going to get nut sacked. It's going to happen. Yeah, everything happens to this kid. Everything that shouldn't happen happens. I digress. We're going to lean into Josh Allen higher than 29.5 pass attempts. And you're thinking, why would he have to throw that much in a game that they should be absolutely rolling through? Listen, throw Trubisky out there for the 4th quarter, which probably could happen. And here we are. Look, from a baseless stance, I'm going to throw some numbers out there because my numbers, they kind of help. His career average versus Miami is 30 pass attempts a game. So we're right on the border with that one. And so far this year, it's 35 pass attempts per game. Okay, it's a little bit high. His home game sits at 31 throughout his career. So 31 pass attempts at home. His average in his career in his opening 4 games of the year is a tick under 34. And if you've watched Josh Allen through the year, he is infuriating when it gets to fantasy football playoff time because his pass attempts drop. They start running like a lunatic. So he's going up from 34 pass attempts down to about 26 at the end of the year. It drops quite aggressively. And that's how he is. And versus Miami at home, his last 4 seasons, he's got 39, 25, 40, and 42 for a solid 36.5 average pass attempts at home. And to make this even more convincing, Josh Allen, for what you want to know, is 7-0 on Thursday Night Football. That's something that you should probably take into consideration as well. But what's even more incredible is when you find out that 6 of those 7 games have been on the road. Crazy. And if you want to throw a bit more betting leverage into it, if you like, okay, 3 of those games are Thanksgiving, so he's popped off like on an early Thursday, I guess. And he's a career average of 31 on Thursday nights as well. On a Thursday night, which is 7 of those games, 4 of them over 32, and only 1 at home. 40 pass attempts of that game was against Tampa 2 years ago. It was a cracking game, I do remember. So the low number has me kind of triggered. Nothing about what he does says under 29.5. I feel pretty good about going over on that. Easy. What an easy 8 minutes. But we are going to wrap that up on Thursday Night Football. Dolphins at Bills. We're going to recall that. But one more time, as always, come over to the Going for Two live Discord. It's fantastic. It's the best place to be. All your trade talk, waiver wire talk, fab bidding, auction stuff, Scott Fishbowl stuff, whatever you need, betting advice. We're all there. You can tag us in and ask questions. 100% free. Get it yourself over. Go find Jeff Lambert's page. It's all on there somewhere. You can skibbity about with that. On top of that, Underdog Fantasy promo code GF2 for a 100% matching deposit up to $1,000 outlay on your initial dish out. That's what you want to be doing. That's what we're doing. Little chopper read there. There we go. We're going to recap these one more time, nice and easy. Pick number 1, Devon Achane, higher than 5.5 targets and or receptions, whichever you feel more comfortable with. I feel fine either way. Pick number 2, we're taking the overs on Tua Tagovailoa sacks at 2.5. We're looking at Bosa, Rousseau, and Daquan Jones at 2.22x for Jones. A bit of a kicker there. It's a nice little way to get him involved. Bosa, Rousseau are popular picks. If you feel like adding one of them into a parlay, go nuts. But Daquan Jones, I quite like this week. And pick number 3, Josh Allen, higher than 29.5 pass attempts for you. I will be back this weekend with your Sunday slate and Monday night. That's it for me for now. Until then, Safe bets, happy punts, cheers, and goodbye.